Ooh. Hi everybody, Laura Roman here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful afternoon and enjoying the weather wherever you are. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura Roman. I am a psychotherapist. I need to move this light. Okay. I am a psychotherapist and a relationship expert in private practice. And I'm here every week on Facebook to give you some tips and tricks on how to have a healthier, more dynamic, more fulfilling life and a healthier, happier, more dynamic relationship. And so today's topic is one that I've been coming across recently with my clientele, and that is people who are looking for their husband's approval. And so the question is it okay to seek your husband's approval or to want your husband's approval? Now, I would have to say that depends. And what I mean by that is this. Yeah, it is okay to want your husband's approval because he is the most important person in your life and he is the most important relationship in your life. So, of course, we want the approval of our spouse. We don't want them to think ill of us or think that we're not worthy, and we want their approval. I know that I oftentimes will run things by my husband because I really trust him, and I think he has let me move that down. He really has a good sense and a good way of looking at things. So I do always run things by him. I look for his approval. I want his approval. I respect him a great deal, and I want him to respect me, and I believe he does. And so that's great. And that's a healthy way of seeking the approval and wanting the approval of your husband or boyfriend. When it becomes a problem is when you are needing their approval, like you can't make a step without getting their approval, or you feel like they know more than you do. That's not good either because you want to have an equal relationship and an equal partnership. The other time that it's not really good to be seeking the approval of your spouse is if you find that your spouse is critical. Because when you have a critical spouse, first of all, what I want you to look at is how you feel when they're criticizing you. And in a loving relationship, I'm not saying that we never criticize each other because that is going to happen, and you can't avoid that because you have two people living together and two people in a relationship and two people raising children. So there may be some criticism, there may be some judgment. It's when it becomes too much. It's when it is every day or often many times a day, or, I could do this better than you, or let me tell you how to do it, or you shouldn't have done it that way, or criticizing the way you've done things. That is not healthy, okay? That is absolutely not healthy. And if you have a spouse who treats you like that, then you may want to look at what's really going on with them. Because I find that critical people who are constantly criticizing, has less to do with me and a whole lot more to do with them and how they're feeling about themselves. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. If I like me, I want you to like you too, and I'm going to help you to do that. So if a partner is criticizing you, what that's going to make you feel like is that what you will feel like, not make you feel like, but what you'll feel like is that you aren't good enough, that you have to prove yourself. And it's also going to be a very lonely feeling. What you want to have in marriage is that you work together. So if there's an issue or something has come up, then together you can work at it, not be blamed or judged for whatever has gone wrong. And I find often, I just thought about this a couple weeks ago, is that in dysfunctional families, and I know that this has happened in my own family of origin and in other families that I know, is that when there is something that happens, right, there always has to be someone to blame. And very often it's the kid, or they're mad at the kid for some reason. And so what happens is that, the kid will, the parent will be yelling at the kid, and the kid's trying to figure out what to do, but you're a kid and you can't really figure out what to do. And then there's just an explosion, and then it kind of calms down. Lots of people's marriages are like that too, where someone is to blame. Very often it's wife, but very often as well, it could be the husband. And what will happen is there'll be an explosion. There'll be, oh my God, how can I fix this? How can I make it better? How can I make him not pissed off at me? And then there's this explosion, and that's it. The fact is that in a healthy relationship, you don't do that. In a healthy relationship, what you do is you talk about it. I'm not saying you don't get mad. You can even get mad. But you talk about it, and you figure out ways that the two of you can work on this, that you can figure it out. I can remember when I married my husband and something would happen, I would tell him and he would say, well, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And I was like, what? I never ever heard of anything like this. Like, this was like, wow. The fact is that that's the healthy way to deal with things, that you talk about it, you work it out, and together you're doing that. So if you are finding yourself always seeking your spouse's approval, what I'm going to ask you to do and what I'm going to ask you to think about is, what is it that's really going on in this relationship? Is it about mutual trust and respect? Is it about criticism? Is it about feeling like you have to do this in order for him to love you? Like, why is it that you are seeking the approval of someone or wanting the approval? Is it a healthy way of looking at approval or an unhealthy, needy way of looking at approval? And is it something that's about you or something that's about your spouse? Or is it something that you two do together? Not a whole nother topic. What we do with each other and how we interact with each other. So those are some things to think about. So in wrapping this up, I just want to say that, seeking the approval or wanting, not seeking it, because seeking it is like being like, please, please approve of me. But wanting the approval of your spouse is normal and good. Seeking the approval of your spouse is not good, because what that's telling me is that there's not an equal relationship here, and there's not a whole lot of respect and not a whole lot of trust, and something that you may want to think about. So please take my questions, write them down, comment if you would like. I would love to hear your comments. You can private message me if you want to. The other thing is that I am starting my Facebook group, and if you are interested in becoming part of my Facebook group, please do so. We will be providing a link. I think my VA is going to do that. But you can also look for my group, which is Better Marriage Without Therapy. And I would love to have you become part of that. Also, please follow me. That would be great if you followed me. It would be awesome. And also, the newsletter is going out next week. And so if you'd like to be part of my mailing list, please sign up for my newsletter. I would love to have you part of my tribe. And I would love to have you have a better marriage, a better life, and a more fulfilling dynamic life, which is awesome way to live. So until next week, in which my topic next week is going to be, is he kidding? Is he abusing me? Or is it something that I should just be overlooking? So is it abuse? Or is it criticism? Or is it funny? Is it sarcastic? What's really going on here? So join me next week, and I will be unfolding that, unpacking that package. And so have a great weekend. Love you. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, my name is Laura Roman. I am a licensed psychotherapist in private practice. I'm a relationship expert, and I'm here every week on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Love you. Have a great weekend. Bye.